In 4,381 days, your investment will be worth zero. Not because the company failed, because the technology never worked. You don't know it yet. Right now, you're about to invest in the most revolutionary medical startup in Silicon Valley, Theranos. And the strangest part? Some people inside the company already know the truth, but no one is listening. 4,381 days until collapse. You are at a venture capital dinner in Palo Alto. Someone mentions a 19-year-old Stanford dropout. Her name is Elizabeth Holmes. She has a simple idea. One drop of blood, hundreds of tests, no needles, no laboratories, results in minutes. She says millions of people avoid blood tests because they fear needles. Her technology will change that. A small device the size of a toaster. You prick your finger. The machine runs hundreds of diagnostics instantly. Cancer, diabetes, infections, all from a single drop. It sounds impossible, but Silicon Valley loves impossible. Elizabeth Holmes speaks slowly, quietly. Her voice is deep and calm. Black turtleneck. Like Steve Jobs. She says healthcare hasn't changed in 50 years. She's about to fix that. You invest $100,000. It feels like the future. 3,000 days until collapse 2007. Money floods in. Theranos grows quickly. The company is secretive. Employees are divided into isolated teams. No one sees the whole system. Elizabeth Holmes raises more money. Powerful people join the board. Former secretaries of state, four-star generals, senators. None of them are scientists, but they are impressed. Holmes tells them the same story. Healthcare is broken. Theranos will rebuild it. Investors compete to get in. The company raises hundreds of millions. You increase your investment. $250,000. Your friends ask if they can join. You tell them the same thing everyone else says. This is the next Apple. 2,000 days until collapse. 2013, the breakthrough. 10 years later, Theranos finally reveals the product. The Edison machine, a sleek black box. Inside Walgreens stores across America, Theranos opens blood testing clinics. You walk in. A technician pricks your finger. A tiny vial collects a few drops of blood. Elizabeth Holmes appears on television. She says the machine can run more than 200 tests. Faster, cheaper, more accurate than traditional labs. The media explodes. Magazine covers, television interviews, tech conferences. Forbes calls Elizabeth Holmes the youngest self-made female billionaire. Theranos is valued at $9 billion. Your shares are now worth more than $2 million. You tell your family you were there at the beginning. The future has arrived. At least that's what everyone believes. How the Theranos technology actually worked. Let's pause the timeline for a moment, because what happens next only makes sense if you understand how the technology actually worked, or more accurately, how it didn't. The promise. Theranos promised something revolutionary. Traditional blood testing requires vials of blood. Samples are sent to large laboratories. Machines run individual diagnostic tests. Theranos said it could compress that entire laboratory into a single device. The Edison machine. Just a few drops of blood. Hundreds of tests. Minutes, not days. It sounded like magic. The reality. Inside the company, engineers were struggling. The small samples created a problem. There simply wasn't enough blood to run so many tests. So the samples had to be diluted, but dilution made the results unreliable, sometimes dangerously wrong. The Edison machines failed repeatedly. Tests produced inconsistent data. Sometimes the devices simply stopped working. The secret workaround. So Theranos did something extraordinary. Instead of running tests on the Edison machine, they secretly used traditional lab analyzers, the same machines used by normal hospitals. The revolutionary device wasn't doing the work. It was just part of the illusion, but investors never saw that. Neither did patients, and the company continued telling the world the technology worked. 900 days until collapse. 2014, the doubts. Doctors begin noticing strange results. Patients receive diagnoses that don't make sense. One test says someone has a severe potassium imbalance. A hospital test the same day says everything is normal. Some patients are told they might have cancer. Follow-up tests show nothing. Inside Theranos, employees are worried. Engineers complain the machines are unreliable. Data scientists say the results cannot be trusted, but speaking up inside the company is dangerous. Employees who question the technology are fired. Some receive legal threats. Non-disclosure agreements silence almost everyone. Outside the company, a reporter starts asking questions. His name is John Carreyrou. He receives tips from former employees. They tell him the technology doesn't work. Theranos executives immediately respond. Lawyers call the newspaper. They say the story is false. They threaten lawsuits. But the reporter keeps digging. The countdown accelerates. 300 days until collapse. 2015, the investigation. The Wall Street Journal publishes the story. Former employees reveal the truth. The Edison machines fail most tests. Many results are generated by conventional lab machines. Theranos denies everything. Elizabeth Holmes goes on television. She smiles calmly. She says the technology works perfectly. She says the media doesn't understand innovation. Many investors believe her. After all, the company is worth billions. Walgreens stores still run Theranos clinics. Patients still take the tests. But regulators are now paying attention, and the questions are getting harder. 30 days until collapse. Federal regulators inspect Theranos laboratories. The organization responsible is the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Their findings are devastating. Laboratory procedures violate safety standards. Quality control systems are broken. Test results cannot be trusted. Regulators ban Theranos from operating blood testing labs. Walgreens shuts down the clinics. Investors panic. The company's valuation collapses. Your $2 million stake is suddenly worth almost nothing. 15 years of promises are unraveling in weeks. Day 0, 2018. Theranos dissolves the company. The technology that was supposed to transform healthcare never worked. Not in 2003, not in 2013, not even in 2015. The revolutionary machine was never ready. Your investment is gone. $100,000. 15 years of belief. $0 left. Elizabeth Holmes is charged with fraud. The story that once defined Silicon Valley innovation now defines Silicon Valley deception. Epilogue. Elizabeth Holmes is eventually convicted of fraud. Theranos raised more than $700 million from investors. Its peak valuation reached $9 billion. But the technology at the center of the company never delivered what it promised. For 15 years, some employees knew the truth. Some tried to warn the world. But the story was too good to doubt, because the most dangerous frauds don't promise impossible profits. They promise something much more powerful, a better future. And by the time people realized the future was fake, the countdown has already reached 0. Theranos promised to revolutionize medicine. It raised $700 million. It reached a $9 billion valuation. The machine never worked. Not once.